How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all having a great day, and today we actually have a new automotive news video on the channel. Another article out of Car and Driver that is very interesting, to say the least. But before we actually get into that article, I did just want to remind you guys that we're coming close to the 1,500 subscriber mark on the channel, and I am going to be doing my very first giveaway once we hit 1,500 subscribers on the channel. We're right about 100 subscribers away now, and a large percentage of people who actually watch my videos aren't subscribed. So literally all you have to do to get entered to win $100 worth of my merchandise is simply subscribe down below if you haven't already. I'm basically just going to be giving away $100 of merchandise to one of my subscribers and subscribers only. It's absolutely free to enter and definitely helps me out a lot as a smaller YouTuber. And now that that's over with, I did kind of want to show you guys the initial article that I did just see on a Lamborghini actually announcing that its entire lineup would be going fully electric after 2024. Within these next couple years, they already are talking about making their full lineup pretty much just plug-in hybrid supercars, and we're seeing this a lot nowadays. And personally, I do think the plug-in hybrid is a very good and efficient way to go about producing more power, because so many supercars and hypercars have regular traditional internal combustion engine as well as different hybrid motors to produce even more power. But I do think that it would be kind of interesting and a little bit controversial, to say the least, for Lamborghini to go fully electric. Obviously there's so much work with Porsche with the whole synthetic fuel and the saving of the internal combustion engine, and so many real car person manufacturers, like car enthusiast manufacturers, aren't really trying to rush into the electric field. Obviously there's so many manufacturers that are expanding into that field because that's where the future money is, but a lot of car enthusiast manufacturers or like car enthusiast based car brands are not really rushing into that, because they know that us car enthusiasts love our internal combustion engines. And yeah, pretty much earlier today, the CEO of Lamborghini said that their entire lineup pretty much will be plug-in hybrids by 2024, and then they are going to hopefully try to transition into, I guess, all electric cars right after that. And they also do have more news on the Aventador replacement. A lot of people were questioning whether Lamborghini was actually going to make a V12 model again after the Aventador, and apparently this Aventador replacement will use a hybridized V12. So I'm assuming that means a V12 with a hybrid, like an electric motor or something as an add-on. And for the most part, the article does go on to talk about how both CEO and I guess the directing board of Lamborghini don't want to really take away what Lamborghini is famous for, which is their roaring V12s, their V10s, though that kind of like crazy sound that you get from those cars, and of course the performance. So I don't really believe, I don't believe that this company is like crazy rushing in to make their entire lineup electric. But in his own words, the CEO did say this is a big challenge for the company, but it's also good news for all of us. We want to keep the DNA of the brand unchanged, but we want to reduce emissions by at least 50% starting from 2025 onward. Now, the title for this article might be a little bit clickbaity, because I don't necessarily think that really means that even in the next 10 years we're going to see Lamborghini going fully electric. Of course they're probably going to, they are going to make their entire lineup hybrid cars, but just because they're a hybrid car doesn't necessarily mean that you're losing out on, again, the V10s, the V12s, the things that actually made Lamborghini what it is today. And plus, with the continued development and research with synthetic fuels that's really being spearheaded by Porsche, mainly from what I've heard, I really do hope that they find some headway with that, because that would literally make internal combustion engine vehicles even cleaner than fully electric vehicles. And I did do a whole video on that, so I'm not going to talk about that too much, and I'll leave the link to that video up in the top of the video right now, and if you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out, because Porsche is doing some amazing work with some of the new synthetic fuels that they're like researching. Now, even though to some purists and some car enthusiasts this article might be seen as bad news, there is actually a sliver of good news in this, and because the CEO did say that the follow-up to the Aventador will still be a V12, so the sound issue is not going to be something we need to take care of because the engine will still be there and it will have the right sound. So again, it is confirmed as of today, May 18th, 2021, that Lamborghini will be producing another V12 engine powered car, except the only difference is that this car is going to have a separate, either a single electric motor or multiple electric motors working in conjunction with the V12, which for the most part we've already seen this with McLaren and multiple other supercar companies for that matter. So this isn't really anything new, but is definitely new for the brand of Lamborghini, because I'm pretty sure that they haven't really even made a hybrid vehicle yet. But one thing that also is interesting in this article is that Lamborghini did announce that the first all-electric Lamborghini actually should be a version of the Scion. I forgot that it was basically like the Scion and then something after it. I'll probably edit it into the video right now and edit in a picture of it so you guys can see it. But as you guys may know, the Lamborghini Scion is a hypercar that Lamborghini actually makes that is worth, I believe, between 2 to 3 million US dollars. So it's one of the definitely higher tier Lamborghinis. So that's kind of, I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't know how I feel about it, seeing an all electric Scion, because I do know that the previous Scion was Aventador based. So I'm almost positive that it did have another V12 in it. So seeing something like that where it's fully electric and it's just no sound and it's like a goddamn Tesla jelly bean, it kind of breaks my heart a little bit. But at the same time, this is kind of where the direction of the automotive industry is moving into. And again, with a lot of these hybrid supercars and hypercars, a lot of times the hybrids are actually even better than the more traditional models, because it keeps the internal combustion platform from the traditional model, and like anything else, it might, add a few tweaks and changes and just make that powertrain a little bit better. And then on top of that, it throws in a couple electric motors to help out and just make a little bit more power. And another thing that I want to point out too is that even though it is, I guess, good that Lamborghini is trying to make this goal of reducing emissions by 50%, you really have to take into account the percentage of overall general population that is actually driving these cars. I really don't think that more than 5%, that's being really conservative and giving them the benefit of the doubt, but I really don't think more than 3 or 5% of the population even owns a Lamborghini. Probably a lot less than that, to be completely honest with you. It's probably more along the lines of less than 1% of people actually own and drive Lamborghinis. So is this really going to make a big difference in the environment and things like that? I don't know. You be the judge. Let me know down in the comments below how you guys think. And I did also want to briefly pull up this second article that actually was also released today, and basically the title of the article is Lamborghini will debut its first all-electric supercar after 2022. So the Car and Driver is saying 2024, this one's saying 2025, and even further down in this article, it also says the possibility that they are not even going to release it by 2030. So I don't know, is this all smoke and mirrors? Is this just like a BS marketing scheme that Lamborghini CEO is trying to put out there to, I guess, make Lamborghini seem more eco-friendly to the people that actually care about that stuff? Me personally, I think that whatever Lamborghini does, they're still going to be a respected automotive manufacturer in 10, 20, 30 years, unless they completely screw something up. But I definitely would not like to see their entire lineup go fully electric. I would, however, like to see some hybrid models thrown in the mix, because personally I'm not this crazy eco person that thinks that all cars should be electric, and I do know that electric vehicles oftentimes are worse for the environment than regular internal combustion engine vehicles when it comes to lithium ion mining and stuff like that, and that's a whole nother discussion that I don't even want to get into today. But I have seen what some of the newer super and hypercars have done with a whole hybrid platform and using the internal combustion engine, as well as either a singular or multiple hybrid electric motors, and I feel like I'm repeating myself, but again, I am excited to see Lamborghini kind of start to experiment with like that world and see what they can come up with. And again, these manufacturers are always going to continue to push the limits, so I highly doubt that whatever they put out in the next few years isn't going to be jaw-dropping. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Personally, again, I don't really feel like Lamborghini should really focus on making their entire lineup electric, but that's just my own opinion. But anyways, that's pretty much just going to be it for today's video. Like always, I will leave a link to the 2 articles that I used in this video down in the description box down below. Again, guys, subscribe if you haven't already. I will be announcing the winner to my first giveaway once we hit 1,500 subscribers, and I'm going to do it either through a live stream or a video. I'm not quite sure yet. But if you're interested in more automotive news videos, car reviews, DIY videos, car show vlogs, and things of that nature, definitely consider subscribing down below. But like always, guys, thank you for all the support, and I hope you have a great day.